let's invite the families. Okay.
I was just wondering if there were any difficult reactions from any of your parents in telling them that you want to start a family?
My mother, who's actually here tonight, was, I think her head spun around, maybe did a 360 at first, but shortly after that, she was unbelievably supportive, and she's just, I think, yeah, just my mother's been wonderful. My father, I think, as you saw in the film, has passed away, but Drew has a bit of a better story.
My mother found out that we had Jack, and that I was married to Randy the same morning. So, so I made a comment in the film how I should let people sort of make their own opinions before I assume what their opinion is going to be, and that was a big lesson I learned that day. But she reacted very well. She kind of was shocked, and then she had to get off the phone because she had people to call. I was assuming it was about the baby and not about anything else. So.
That's great. Yeah, my parents have all, I've wanted to have kids for a very long time, so my parents knew. And when I came out to them, the only thing my mom really said was, I know how much you want to have kids, and to her, this closed that door. It's absolutely closed that door. So when I said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go out, and she said, if you can find any woman to get pregnant, I'm in. So, so they are fully supportive. My parents are fully, my dad too, both of them, and all my family.
And I think in our case, it was a very gradual process of Wendy and I having Jasmine when we came out to our parents. And then, of course, when Corrine came into the family, Jasmine was already around. So Corrine's parents were able to have a grandchild immediately. So it was another leap, I think, to tell them that we were having yet another child and to describe the biological relationships of that one. But it seems to have worked out, and we have the full support of all the grandparents and all the extended family, and it's quite wonderful.
This question is for Scott. How are you dealing with 2 babies?
Yeah, it's a very good question. That's a very good question. Truthfully, I'm having the time of my life. I think what people see is they see 1 person and 2 babies, and how does that work? But that's my only experience. I don't have any other experience. So, I don't find it extremely difficult. I mean, obviously I have overwhelming days or overwhelming nights, but for the most part, we're a great little 3-person unit, and we function really well, and we have tons of fun together, and they're lively and social, and the first 4 months of doing night feedings and things like that alone that almost hit me over. But after we got out of that, and they started to actually sleep through the night, the light went on. And I literally am having the time of my life.
Did you get parental leave?
I didn't. I had to take time off because I'm self-employed. So the kind of burning issue for me is that when you're self-employed, you don't get any parental leave at all. Mm-hmm. So even though I paid in for 25 years, you don't actually get to take that money out. So I took the time off. So and really, I really like spending all my time with them. I'm not calling on a lot of people to come over and help or spend the night. I really like taking care of them. I really like spending all my time with them. So I'm very kind of in some ways protective, and maybe I should be letting a couple more people help out.
Thank you.
I'd like to add one of the most profound experiences while making this film was meeting Scott at 8:15 in the morning after we finished filming. I was driving. It was very early in the morning, and then I saw Scott in a white, crisp shirt, shaved, perfect skin, like no signs of being tired. It was 8 in the morning, and that's when I understood that, yes, he can make it.
Okay. We've heard tonight that there hasn't necessarily been a lot of experience to learn from for these guys. I'd say in our case that we actually know several families, many of them here tonight, who were models for us as well in the way they didn't have a traditional heterosexual family and had multiple parents, more than 2 in some cases, and raised wonderful children and continue to do so. So we have had that experience. And it's sometimes hard to find, but films like this will spread the word. I'm trying to recall, the question was how we felt seeing ourselves on screen. I think it was much easier than actually being filmed. It's a grueling process being in a documentary, but we also had seen the documentary previously, so nothing we actually saw was a surprise. And I think because we've been in this situation of our family for, well, since Jazz was about 5, we've told so many people now that in a way it was easier to have the movie tell the story as opposed to having to tell it ourselves. So it wasn't so bad.
Yeah, if you, we're going to have a website up probably in the next 2-3 weeks under fatherhooddreams.com. So if you have comments, even now you can send it to info@fatherhooddreams.com and I can put that on the website. So if you have comments about the film or you want to say anything, just email it to us. That'd be great.
I'm a bit older than you guys, and I wanted to be a dad when I was more your age, and doors were just closed. So I laud you all for what you've done and for sharing your stories. I'm hoping the filmmakers will pass on our thanks to the surrogate mom for Scott's kids, for sharing as much as she did, and for the extended family of, Jack's grandmother and those people, because that really fleshed out for me watching this a little bit more about this child or those children and where they came from, and it's a real good story. You're going to get some phone calls, your network probably. You're going to inspire a lot of people across Canada to look at how they can get to their dreams that they have.